Hello students, welcome to today's class. I think by seeing the figure, tell me what are these? Something I have drawn for you. Guess what are these? But I can say these are very important for one chapter, and the name of that heading is also very important. I think you can guess it. What are these actually? What kind of questions you can ask? What kind of questions an examiner can ask? But these must be one of the questions. Very important. So today we are going to discuss about a very important topic. Very important topic. What I'm saying, the zeros of the polynomial from the graph. So what? I repeat. Today we are going to discuss about the zeros of the polynomial with the help of the graph. That means how to find the zero, how many zeros are there and what are the zeros with the help of the graph. Like this you will get in your examination. Like this graph you will get in your examination. I have drawn different types of the graph. Graph means along x and y axis. This is your graph. This is your graph. This is your graph. Okay. So what is your graph? In this, if you look at the graph, intersect x-axis at number of points. So how many zeros are there? How to find? इसमें कितने zeros है वो find कैसे करते हैं? Only the thing is you have to look at the graph, pattern of the graph. Graph के खाली pattern देखो क्या है? Look at the pattern of the graph. So what is the pattern of the graph? If I show the pattern of the graph, your graph is this one. This is your graph. This is your graph. This is your graph. This is your graph. This is the graph. This is the graph. This is the graph. Whereas this is the graph. But what is important in this? The main important is, note it down, very important. Again I repeat, the main important is this graph touch your x-axis at how many points? May I repeat? This graph touch your x-axis. Your x-axis. Again I repeat, x not y. X-axis. This graph touch the x-axis at how many points? Let me. I think this graph is touching your x-axis at this point. 1, 2, 3. How many points? 3 points. This graph touching x-axis at 3 points. X-axis को 3 बार touch हो रहा. So it touch x-axis at 3 distinct points. So therefore, the number of zeros in this case, what I can write? Number of zeros is equals to 3. Why number of zeros 3? Because it touch the graph in 3 distinct points. 3 distinct points. Therefore, number of zeros 3. Can I say how many zeros in this graph? Look at it. Only one. See. At x-axis, only at one point it touches the graph. Don't see the y-axis. Again, I highlight. It must touch only x-axis. No y-axis. Y-axis is independent. Only you have to see the x-axis. Okay? What to say? Only x. So number of zeros is equals to 1. Why? Because there is only one point. It touches the x-axis at one point. In this case, it touches the x-axis at 2 points. 1, 2. So number of zeros is equals to 2. This one I need not to explain, I think, because you can give me the answer. How many? 2. Number of zeros 2. Here, how many? Number of zeros 2. Right? And here 1, 2, 3, 4. Number of zeros 4. So in this way we can find what is the number of zeros in the given graph. So this is clear how to find the zeros from the graph. Very important. Again I am repeating. Very important. From your NCERT, even you can complete one exercise. Complete exercise is only this one. Next. Here, tell me how many zeros? 3. But what are the zeros? Those zeros also you can write. See at which point the graph touch x-axis. First point is this one. So minus 2. Second point is at the origin. Here also touch 0. Third is at this point. So my number of zeros is equals to 3. What are the zeros? These are the zeros. Minus 2, 0 and 2. These are the number of zeros. Means what are the zeros and how many zeros are there? In this case, again I can write 2 zeros. But what are those 2 zeros? Those 2 zeros are minus 2 and 2. So this is the way how to find number of zeros from graphical representation. If any graph is given, you can easily to find how many zeros. But the highlighting point is which one to check. Again I repeat, the graph must intersect your x-axis. Graph must intersect. Graph must intersect, or you can say cut or touch also you can write. Cut or you can write touch also. Graph must touch which axis? X-axis, yes, right. Graph must touch your x-axis. Then only we can find the number of zeros. If touch x-axis, if the graph touch your x-axis, at one point number of zeros 1. If the graph touch or intersect the x-axis at 2 points, number of zeros 2. If graph touch your x-axis at 3 point, number of zeros 3. So now this can be calculated by seeing how many times the graph touch your x-axis. This is the way how to calculate number of zeros. Okay, I hope you are getting.